Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here to do another Friday Reads video. So if you guys are not familiar with the concept of Friday Reads, it is pretty much a weekly wrap up of what you have read in the past 7 days. So it is, again, what you have read, what you are currently reading, and what you are planning on reading next. So I started doing this last year and then took a break for about 6 to 8 months and then came back and did it a couple weeks ago. So I will link a playlist to all the past Friday reads I have done in the past down below if you guys are interested in checking any of them out. So this past reading week wasn't the best personally for me. I had a lot of stuff with school going on, so I wasn't really able to sit down and read a whole ton. I managed to read one book. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and get started. So the first book, or the only book I finished last week, was Zack by Mons Callencroft. This is an e-arc I got from NetGalley. This came out last Wednesday on the 24th. This is an adult psychological thriller. It takes place in Sweden. It was translated from Swedish. And it follows a character who pretty much he is a cop, but he gets into all sorts of trouble outside of work. And then, as that is going on, he's kind of getting investigated by his own co-workers. Then there's this horrible murder of these 4 Taiwanese women, and then there's a 5th woman who is mutilated pretty much. And this pretty much sets up the entire book to figure out who did these murders and why. This was an interesting book. I'm not the biggest psychological thriller fan. You guys, most of you guys already know that. But this one I did really like. It was very suspenseful, which is what I always look for in a psychological thriller. And I was entertained, and yes, it was slow at times, but I overall really enjoyed it, so I gave it 3 stars. And like I said, that is everything I read last week. Now going into the books that I'm currently reading. The only physical book I'm currently reading right now is Otherworld by Susan Segal and Kristen Miller. This book I am, let's see, 152 pages in, so about halfway done. It is very good so far. This is a YA science fiction book that follows our main character Simon, who in this futuristic world there's this whole new craze of virtual reality games called Otherworld that everybody's addicted to. And one day his friend is in a horrible accident, and the only way that he can help her get out of this comatose state she is in is by playing this game called Otherworld. So that is pretty much the premise of this book. Like I said, I'm not very far into it, but I am really liking it so far. It reminds me of, I haven't read these 2 books, but I know what they're about. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline and Warcross by Marie Lu, because it has that video game aspect to it. So I am hoping to finish this sometime tonight or this weekend, but I am really, really enjoying it. Then the other 2 books I am currently reading are on ebooks. So the first one of those is Being Tested the Road by Rachel Hartman. This is a, I want to say, companion novel to her book Serafina, which I have not read, but I know it is about a girl who can transform into a dragon. I think that's the basic premise. This, like I said, I believe is a companion novel. This follows her like half sister, and that's pretty much all I can tell you guys, because it's kind of hard to explain without spoiling the Serafina. Even though I haven't read it, I have been spoiled for it, and I didn't know that it was going to be a companion novel going in, but I am like 20% into this. It's pretty good so far, so I am going to continue on. I think this is a standalone too, so that's pretty cool. And the only other book that I am reading is on audiobook, and that is Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. This is my very first Stephen King book. I have been wanting to get into Stephen King for some time now, so I picked up Mr. Mercedes on audio, and I am really, really liking it. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you might have seen my post the other day where I said, reading my first Stephen King book and loving it. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, shameless plug, but my username is @evilqueenbooks, so it is linked down below. Go check it out. But I am really, really liking that. This is an adult thriller novel that follows our main character, Bill, who is a retired police officer, but 6 months before he gets retired, there's this horrible murder by a man who ran his car into a group of people, killing a good majority of them. and Bill is getting these anonymous letters from the killer, and he is trying to figure out who the killer really is. This is the first book, I believe, in a trilogy. And again, I had heard nothing but great things about this trilogy, so I wanted to check it out. And like I said, I am really liking it. I'm 7 hours in, and I cannot wait to see how this wraps up. And I will definitely be continuing on with the series. And that is all that I have read in the past week and everything I am currently reading. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I'll be sure to have all the books mentioned in this video linked down below if you guys are interested in checking them out, along with all my social media links. So those will include my Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, blog, as well as the link to my book club. Again, those are always linked down below for you guys. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!